Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to download and install our free header and footer for Divi's Telehealth layout pack. This is the result we're aiming to achieve, so without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. Alright, so to download our header and footer template, what we need to do is to head over to this blog post, which I'll link to in the show notes below. So I'm going to scroll down here until I see here where it says get it for free today. Click on this button, add your email address, click on download, and then you want to download the files. Okay, so you can see here they've been downloaded onto my bottom screen here. I'm going to navigate to my folder where this has been downloaded, and here it is. Now, as you can see, this is a zipped file. So what you need to do is to double click on it and unzip it. Okay, I'm just going to drag it over to the side here. All right, so what we're going to do now is to head over to our website. All right, so now that we've downloaded this, let's head over to our website. So we need to scroll all the way down here to Divi and then click on Theme Builder. Next, you want to click on these two arrows, Portability, click on the Import tab. Now remember, we unzipped that file. Here it is. So what I'm going to do now is to just drag and drop it here. Next, I want to hit Import Divi Theme Builder Template. And this is now going to install our header and footer. And our header and footer is going to be applied pretty much across the whole website because this is our global style. Okay, so before I hit Save Changes, let's take a look and see what header and footer we have at the moment. So this is out of the box Divi. So all I installed here was this pre-made design, but the header and also the footer is pretty much not designed. Okay, so the idea here is once we hit save, this footer and header is going to be changed and transformed from this into a brand new design. Okay, so let's hit save changes now. Now, if we come back to this tab and refresh, notice what happens. We now have a brand new header. And also if I scroll all the way down to the bottom here, you also notice that we have a brand new footer. Isn't that cool? All right, so what I'm going to do now is to show you how you can go in and customize the header and the footer to your liking. Okay, so to do that, you want to go back to the theme builder. So let's start with the header. So I'm going to click on this pencil icon. It's going to take me now into our builder. So first things first, let's take a look here at our button. Okay, so this is our call to action button. So I'm going to click on this gear icon. And now we can see here it says get in touch. You can adjust this and make it whatever you want. You can just add whatever text you want in here. Over here, this is where you can add your button URL. So I'm just going to add a blank link, but in your case, this needs to link to the page itself. Okay. Over here on the design tab, if you want to change the way this button looks, you want to come over here to button. And this is where you can start changing your colors. So if you want to change the text colors, you can just click on that. If you want to change the button color itself, you can just click on that. So in real time, you can see that I am now changing my button colors. Okay, so this is where you would do it. Okay, now as I mentioned, this needs to be colors that are on your color palette. This is how it's going to really look nice. Okay, so that's how we adjust the button. Now over here, we also have some social media follow. So what you can do here, if you want to add more, you can just duplicate an existing one. And then you want to click here on this gear icon. Okay, click on the drop down. And let's say you want to add LinkedIn. You can just add it like that. And what is also important here is you need to go into each and every one of these and add your link URL to your profile page. So right now I've just added a blank link, but this is where you would add it. Now, if you want to further customize this, you can always come over here to the design icon and we can adjust the size here, the icon color, and this is where all the changes are. Okay, I'm going to close out of here. Next, let's take a look here at our menu. So I'm going to click on this gear icon to go into my menu settings. So first things first, there's a logo. So this is where you'd add your logo. So if your logo is in the media library, you want to come over here to your media library, select it. If not, click upload files and upload your logo on to the media library and then upload or insert it. So now you can see our logo has been inserted. But of course, this does not look great because it's a light logo on a light background. Okay, so to change that again, you can just come over here and choose the logo that works. So I think the logo we had before was this one here. Let's add it back. Now let's say your logo here, in this case it looks a bit pixelated. You can always come over here to design and go to logo. So here is where if you want, you can add some rounded corners if it's not rounded. And also we can make some adjustments on the sizing. So let's head over here to sizing, and we have our logo width. So we can adjust this, make this a bit smaller. So let's go down to 50%. And now you can see that this size is actually much better. Okay, so I can now save this. Oh, there's one thing I also forgot to mention here, and that is the adjustments that you can do to your text here. Right, so to adjust the text over here, or the menu, you can just click here on design, menu layout. And as you can see here, it's left aligned. But on the menu text is where you can change the colors. So this will be the active color. So you can choose whatever active color you want. And here is where you'll change your font. Okay, now moving on, we also have our menu text color. So you can also change it here. So you can see in real time just by clicking here, this has been updated. Okay, so I'm not going to go in and change or pretty much do a lot of changes here. I'm just going to go out of that. Now let's move on to the next item, and that is the row itself. So with the row, you can just come over here to your background. This is the main background color. So you can see here, as I make my changes, this is updating. So you can play around with the colors here until you're happy with the colors that you want. Next, we're going to come over here to the design, click on border, and this is how we have these rounded corners here. Now, if I remove them, you can see here that we have the change. All right, so I'm going to close out of here. So this is pretty much what we need to do on our header. So I'm not going to commit to any changes. I'm going to close out of here and discard and exit. All right, so that's the header. Now let's move on to the footer. It's similar to what I was doing on the header here. So let's just go through some modules that I have not covered on the main header. All right, so here we have this call to action. So before we go to the call to action, actually, what we need to do is to go into our row settings, and let's take a look and see how we can change this color here. So to change the color, you can see just by doing that, I have changed the color. So this is where you would target and make the change. Okay. Next, let's take a look and see how we can change this text or even style it. So to do that, you just want to hover over it and click on this gear icon. So now we have our text. It says get started with Divi today. So it's up to you what text you want to add here. And over here on the design, you can also target this text. And as you can see, this is our heading 2 text. On this drop down, you can choose whatever font we want. I'm going to close out of here. Next over here, this is an image. So to add your own image, you can just click anywhere in here and add your image just like that. Close out of this. Next, we have our text. So I'm going to click on this gear icon. This is our text settings. So the main things here are the email and also the email address. So what we want to do now is to customize this. So if you click on this paintbrush icon, it's going to take us to our heading text. And this time it's heading 3. You can change the color like that to match, of course, colors on your color palette. We can also make this bold, and we can also increase the size of this text and so on. Okay. Right, so let's move on. And right now we can see that we have this image here in the background. Let's go into our section settings here. And to locate that image, you want to come to the background, click on the second tab, and this is our image. So we can completely delete that if you are not a fan of that image. Okay. Now moving on, we also have these areas here. Now all these are just text modules, but before we go into that, let's go into our row settings. So here on our row settings, if we click here on our gear icon, it's going to take me into the customizations of this row. So over here on the design, the main thing here that we can see is the rounded corners here. So this is where you can make the adjustments. Okay. I want to close out of that. Now moving on, we also have this text here. So if I click on that gear icon, it's going to take me to my text settings. And if you click on this paintbrush icon, now it's taking us to heading 3. So this is where we can go in and change the colors of the text if we need to do that. And we can also change our fonts and also change the sizes. Okay, so let's close. And the next item here are the links. So on the links here, again, you can add your own links. And what is also important here is to make sure that you connect this link here to the About Us page or whatever page that is that you have here by clicking on this chain icon and adding your URL here. If you don't do that, then these links will not go to any link that you intend to send them to. Okay, so pretty much that's how we customize this. Here on the bottom as well, you can remove that image by coming over here to background. So this is the main background color here. You can change it like that. And if you need to remove this image style here, you can just delete and that's gone. Okay, so that is how we customize this footer to match our colors on our color palette and also the fonts that we may have on our website. But this header and footer can be used on any type of design. You just have to make it work for you by doing these customizations that I've just shown you. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.